again. Everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, just thank you so much for the love and support y'all are constantly giving me each and every day, which is truly a blessing on all levels. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings. Love and light and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when your girl is about to upload her next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacts your life and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are insightful, just give you good vibes or uplift that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through some trying times at the moment, needing confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It is so always appreciated, and I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the music that I'm listening to today for meditation is coming from the channel Self Healing Collective, God's Presence, healing music for deep inner peace, deep prayer meditation, and music 852 hertz clarity. And I will post their link in the description box below. And I'm doing the video. First, I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my soul family, Where Hidi. They had asked me about a certain technique you have to do, and this is I'm giving that shout out to her, and I appreciate her, giving me this discussion for me to be able to talk about. I always try to tell y'all, if you're curious or want my perspective about different things that you want me to speak about in a video, I would definitely do that. Just leave it in the description, leave it in the comment section. It's called Shadow Work Break-Thru, Tearing Down the Walls to embrace your freedom. All of us is going through this. It's like so many different things we're going through. We're going through spiritual detox, purification, clearing, releasing, purging, all these different things. So let's bring all these different things to the surface, which is not comfortable, but it's inevitable. It has to be done. If you know you want to get to the best version of yourself, you have to face everything that's holding you back. I wrote a lot of different things down because I've been doing my own shadow work on and off. It's been going. It hasn't been pleasant, but it is something that I truly know that I had to do. If we're going to be, being in a very, very better, a very positive and peaceful head space, you have to be able to embrace the things that, we choose to not want to deal with, um, and it's just like, when you're practicing on your shadow work, or to know that you are doing your shadow work, you have to believe that everything that you want in life, you're deserving of that. You're worthy of these things. And like I was telling y'all in the other video, was that the fear is not a fact, but working on your determination will mold your desires. It's true. You have to be able to be worthy of that. And it's just, you can say, yeah, I'm worthy of these things. But then when it comes down to putting it into work for whatever you're trying to work with, either like I'm not ready yet, or I just don't have enough time to invest in this, or oh, I'm scared, I don't know what they're going to think. You're allowing fear to control what you need to do to better your life. And there's a lot of things you have to be able to, you have to be able to break those barriers. I always try to do things um that that scare me. I really do. I try to be able to do that, and I work on it every day as well, because there's a lot of different things that I'm doing it in a different way. Because before, I always used to worry about what people thought of me, or if people were going to believe me, or what kind of feedback I'm gonna get back for the things that I've done. But it's just like, your energy and the energy you have has to be able to speak for itself. um and to just pay attention to your emotions on how you feel from day to day. Identifying with your shadow self. Your shadow self is actually your soul. You have a guide that will direct you towards that, to pave that way of you being able to find that. Your soul is, you know what gets you. Your soul is like, if it's filled with torment, that's all it's going to invest. If it's feeling in love and positivity, that's what it will manifest. being able to do that, just being able to investigate your feelings on objectively with compassion, because a lot of different things that'll come up. You have to be able to understand what makes you tick, what makes you, really get into that funk, or what things that really make you feel happy. But you can't always look for things that's going to make you happy if you're not embracing the things that upset you, that get you sad. So you're having to be able to invest on being able to know that shadow part of yourself. And that shadow part of ourselves is something is like what do they call it, acrotype. I think that's how you say it, acrotype. Where it's molded up of, fear, sadness, anger, resentment, anything that is in a negative heavy vibration that keeps you lowered. That's the part of your shadow self. And you have to be able to explore that on anything. It's like I said, I don't know if I said this because my second time doing this video, because the other one was on my daughter's computer and it didn't look right, so I wanted to redo this. So I don't know if I said that I wrote a lot of these things down to make sure I remembered it. In case you're, well, I know we're all going through it. It's not like in case you're doing shadow work, you have to be doing shadow work right now. um and it's just being able to identify with your shadow, being able to pay attention when it comes to certain people, certain individuals, certain subjects. It really makes you tick, that triggers you. And, and it's a lot of times we deal with people where we're like, they're narcissists. I can't deal with toxic vibrations. Oh, they're very passive aggressive. Um, all these different things that you're labeling, which is judgmental. We do that. We're in our human suit, so we do that. And a lot of these things, when you're dealing with it, 9 times out of 10, the things that they're mirroring to you is a part of yourself that you need to work on within yourself. I have to work on my narcissistic traits. I've explored these different things because there's sometimes you can be that way subconsciously, you can do that unsubconsciously. And it's not being able to say, you are a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? If you have been in a relationship that's with a narcissist, you had to have something that attracted them to that. But they're a blessing in disguise because it allows you to fix whatever is within yourself. I feel like, sometimes it's hard to understand. It's like, can a narcissist ever, heal? Can a narcissist ever do that? I feel like anybody can heal if they allow themselves to. And I mean, I'm on that new perspective now. I feel like if you really want to do the work, you can do that. But there are certain times when you pick up the narcissistic traits, they do not hurt somebody, may have triggered somebody, may have gaslighted somebody. When you're being honest with yourself and say, you know what, I need to work on myself. I'm trying not to trigger people, or, I have to be able to be considerate of those feelings. So I feel like I don't want to call myself a narcissist. I have narcissistic traits, because these are the things I've grown up into. I've had narcissistic relationships. They've been toxic, but then I'm allowing myself to be honest, being transparent. I'm working on myself. There's a lot of different things that are toxic about myself that I work on each and every day. And for you to be able to do that, that's identifying with yourself on what you need to work on. Being able to allow people not to be able to trigger you. If there's no enemy on the inside, no outside enemy can interfere with you. And if you're dealing with different things where you can label off what this person is doing to you or what these people are doing to you, it's allowing yourself to identify if that is a trigger to you. That's a part of yourself that is identifying with your shadow self. So those are the things you have to be able to come up with, because those a lot of times we don't want to admit that's a part of ourselves. We go through those low vibrations where we don't feel like we're worthy, or comparing our journey to somebody else's. Being able to say, I wish I can do this with my life, while you feel like you're stuck in yours. And you have to understand, whatever they're doing in their life, they had to do that shadow work too. This being able to mirror to you, that, hey, if they're doing it, you can do that too. When you're seeing all these different people are doing their different things and you're wanting to do that, it's mirroring to you that, if you put in that work, you can go ahead and do that too. But for these things to work, you have to be able to identify with yourself, because there's a lot of times where you may see somebody and they're doing some down dirty stuff. You have to understand, if they're doing it and it's not from a whole heart, from a place of positivity, if they're not putting good intentions to get that, it doesn't last. If it does, God bless them. But those are the things you have to be able to understand. When you're allowing yourself to embrace that part of yourself on, what, this is a part of me that is really broken. And I don't feel like it's you're within a person that is actually broken. It's just breaking the parts of you that's no longer needed in your life. I don't want to ever feel like sit up here and say I used to say that, but like I said, I'm working on my masterpiece here. And for you to be able to do that, you have to be transparent. You have to be able to be vulnerable. There's different times, I feel a certain way about myself, how I see myself, what parts of me I need to work on, what parts do I have to embrace, knowing I'm a very strong individual. We are all strong individuals. Just because of the things that you have gone through in your life made you a strong individual because you're still here. And there's a lot of times that you may be still going through stuff. We're all still working on something that is still really hurting us and it's coming to the forefront. And for you to be able to do that and you're honest with yourself, it's like, okay, I've been putting my illusions of disbelief or limited beliefs on other people. Okay, that's a kudos. Even though you're doing that, you're admitting what part of you that really truly needs work. People are like, no, Roslynn, you're not understanding me. I feel like I'm a whole new person. Yes, you're becoming a whole new person, but you're identifying with yourself and being honest with yourself on the parts that really truly needs that healing. If you're going to align with yourself, you have to like the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you have to be able to look at yourself and see there's like a different technique you can be able to do. Write down everything, a part of yourself that you don't like about your personality. Not about, how I look, or, I have a thing where, I've been going through a lot of different depression in my life where I used to do emotional eating. Well, not used to, I do emotional eating. Like I said, I got to keep it real. Did a lot of emotional eating. I stopped smoking the devil's lettuce, as they say, and drinking. So I turned from one addiction to another one. I eat, my sweets. I have my sodas every once in a while, and I go through all these different crying spells because I'm still going through a grief. I'm still going through acceptance. I'm still healing my inner child, being able to face that. And when you're being real about yourself and saying, this is what I'm working on. This is a part of myself that I really need to get in tune with because I don't like the way this makes me feel. I don't like the fact that it's keeping me in a situation where I feel stagnant, where I feel stuck. And then when you're being honest with you about yourself, when you're doing those things, you're being real. You keeping it really real. I'm not worried about what person's watching my videos and what they're going to stop me. Only God can stop that. Because if I'm being real with you, that's how you can really relate to somebody that is really going through different things in their life. We're all going through a spiritual growth. We have to be able to heal our inner child because there's a lot of us we went through some toxic situations as in children, or you may be in a relationship that's toxic, or you may have people that are surrounding you with this toxic. So those are the traits that we end up picking up because this is that time where we're connecting with other people so we all can be able to break those cycles because it's running through generations and it has to stop somewhere and it's going to be with us. So you have to be able to allow yourself to become acceptant about those different things in your life that does that. So when you're writing down the technique of saying, this is what I don't like about myself, this and the negative things, it could be, if somebody says something like somebody uses your weaknesses against you and you allow yourself to snap back, have the last word, you're allowing yourself to be honest. I'm allowing that person to trigger me. I'm allowing that person to gaslight me. I need to allow myself to understand. I need to work on my anger management, work on my beliefs, because number one, that person is using weaknesses against you. And usually when people use your weaknesses against you, they're already hurting within themselves. So they're trying to get you to that level of where they are through that level of pain. And if there's no enemy out, good luck. Good luck. Okay, well, have fun. Have a good day. But anyways, going through all these different things, you're allowing yourself to be honest about what you need to be able to work within yourself to get to that initial growth that you're aiming for, that you truly want in your life. You deserve to be happy. You need to be in a place where wherever you're doing with your gift, if it's something that you can be able to do as a lifestyle, you need to be able to enjoy that. If you're trying to be that light worker, we have to be able to work through ourselves and use our story of experience to be able to show people, yes, I was a wounded warrior. Yes, I had to allow myself to reflect the truth on me, on what I needed to work on. And when I'm allowing myself to work on these things, I'm keeping it real. It's It's not easy. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that you have to go through, being very uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable is allowing yourself to know you're hitting new territory. You're getting yourself out of that zone where you used to be, that was too comfortable, because what you were doing wasn't working for you. That's the reason why we had to go on this path in the first place. So when you're allowing yourself to see that part of yourself and being accepting of that, yes, I'm working on my low self-esteem. Yes, I'm working on how I see myself by loving myself, allowing myself to take my priority of my mental health first. That's my priority. Being able to tell no means no when I need to do different things. When you're allowing yourself to be able to say, I need to work on this, and then you're showing yourself each and every time you get through a situation where you're stressed out, and that might be affected by you, triggered when it comes to a certain situation. If there's a certain person that comes up, or a certain person that you see that that gave you a bad vibe, when you're allowing yourself to release that, and you're allowing yourself to know, okay, that person or that situation doesn't even affect me like it used to. And you'll start noticing that. I even notice this about myself, because I'll see certain things that'll pull up, like I'll see certain things that used to be a trigger to me, or used to be something that truly affected me emotionally and mentally. It no longer does that. So that's letting me know the initial shadow work that I'm doing is working. I'm still going through that, because there's certain things that I'm still going through, that I have to be able to be honest with myself and be able to release that, so I can go off and be the better person I'm yearning to be. You're working on your masterpiece to get to where you are the best version of yourself. And when you're allowing yourself to see, when you hit that stressful negative point, and then you see yourself going into that flip back, or we're gonna call it flip mode. When you go into flip mode, and I love flip mode squad with Busta Rhymes and them, so I don't want him to feel like I'm talking about him anyway, but I'm just using that as an example. You go into that flip mode, and then when you're allowing yourself to be able to say, okay, this almost put me out of my element of peace, this almost sit up here and triggered me. And when you're allowing yourself to know that, you can backspace and let me allow myself to think of a positive situation, or let me put a positive spin on myself emotionally and mentally, so I don't allow myself to get in that situation. If you're dealing with people, there's an automatic walking trigger. Trust and believe, and I say this a lot. When somebody goes out their way to trigger you, baby, trust and believe. You're more of a trigger to them than they are to you, because normal people don't go around trying to go out their way to try to hurt you, or try to take you out of your element of peace. Normal people don't go around doing that. So they're already dealing with their pain. We can't place judgment on them, even though it's hard for us not to do. You have to be able to understand everybody working in their way. There's some people that's working through it through progression, on being able to say, this is how I'm gonna do this, being mindful, being more discerning about what I say, how I say it. If I know it's going to be an argument, let me allow myself to sit up here and say, oh, I already see this is going into an argument. So I really want to be able to discuss something with you, but hey, if this is what it's going to be about, I can't talk to you when I'm in this situation. I'm not trying to cut you off, but if it's going to be something where we can't talk like adults, or we can't talk like we can be in a place of peace, that discussion has to be put on the back burner until then. When you're allowing yourself to backpedal out of that, you have to go. And a lot of times when you deal with people that are very, they can really touch a nerve, because they were like, oh, they want to be able to see if they can pull you back out of that piece. Sometimes that silent response is a response for you. You need to allow yourself to not get in a situation that's going to trigger you. And so when you can allow yourself to look at yourself each and every day, because you're the one you have to deal with every day. No, you have to be your own support system at times. You're not going to have that. You're not going to have it all the time. It's with me. Most of mine is when I'm doing it, because it's a very lonely situation for me, because there's a lot of things I can't talk about. So there's things that I have to deal with myself, that I have to be able to meditate, talk to my dad, be able to deal with my spirit guides, and then I do my videos. So I go through my therapeutic, healing through that way. So when you're allowing yourself to really see that there's certain things that no longer triggers you, certain individuals that no longer changes your mode, that's when you're allowing yourself to really know that the work is really doing good. It's not going to be something that's overnight. This is something that has to be worked on in a daily. When you're allowing yourself is easy when you get in a situation when your vibes are already low, maybe because you're not moving out of your situation fast enough, you're not in the place you want to be, there's other people getting blessings around you, but you're still stuck in your situation. Just allow yourself to focus on you, where you're trying to be at. Don't worry about the other people that are doing what they're doing, because everybody had to do their job on what they're doing. So trust and believe you are going to get there. But it's like, for you to be able to do what you're going to do, and it's just for the shadow work that you're doing and the light work you're doing, and then it's just you not giving up on yourself. You don't know, just the things that you want maybe mediocre to what the universe is going to supply for you. So you allow yourself to keep doing that shadow work. Do different techniques where you can allow yourself to see where your triggers are. Why does it trigger you? Being honest with yourself, be able to put it in a positive standpoint on whatever it is and whoever it is it has to deal with. And when you're allowing yourself to put the pros and the cons together and show yourself where you need work at and what needs to change and what you need to accept, what you need to embrace, what you need to let go of, and what you need to just straight release, you're going to be on that road of understanding how you tick, being able to get into that situation where no one or no situation is going to be able to change your emotions. You're still going, even when things are just not going your way that day, you can still allow yourself to say, you're staying calm because you're moving through what you're asking for. You had to be able to go through these initial growth. Everything is for our growth. Everything that is taking place in our life is for our growth. So when you're allowing yourself to do that, bigger and better is coming your way, and it's going to be more than what you imagine. So I hope, usually I try to go ahead and say everything I got to say, because usually if it's over a certain amount, it takes longer for the daggone video to process, and it takes longer for y'all to be able to get to it. So much love to you. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Thank you for suggesting that video and any other videos you want me to talk about or discuss or whatever. I will do my best to go ahead and do that. And I will give you a shout out with that as well. So I hope y'all have a blessed, safe weekend. Be responsible for everything you do. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Drop a line. I would love a chance to get to know you like you're knowing me. I'll leave all my contact information at the bottom, and I'll see you on my next video. Much love. Peace.